Elite Facts presents
Films you never knew were true stories. 1. William Wallace is probably Mel Gibson's most famous and best role as an actor, and it might be because he was a real warrior. The story of the film Braveheart may add a bit more a dramatic flair to the reality of events, but the truth is, Wallace was instrumental in keeping the English invaders at bay on the Scottish borders. Wallace is such a revered part of Scotland's history that he has a statue in his honor in the heart of Aberdeen. Wallace defeated an English army at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297, appointed Guardian of Scotland in 1298. In 1305, Wallace was captured and handed over to King Edward, who had him hanged, drawn, and quartered for high treason. 2. The Exorcist has some serious talking points throughout. Take your pick, from the rotating head scene, or maybe when young Linda Blair walks down the stairs with her back broken like a spider. But the events of the film are based on a case from the early part of the century. Clara Germanocelli had decided to make a pact with Satan when she was 16. A few days later, and she started to show strange signs of change, such as a severe disdain for religious artifacts and books. She could also suddenly understand dozens of languages and develop a savant-like ability to read minds in people's pasts. She would also levitate and attacked 2 priests sent to perform an exorcism on her. 3. The Holocaust is arguably the biggest human extermination event that European soil has ever seen, with Adolf Hitler instrumental in seeing that Jewish people suffered for no apparent reason than his own opinions. The story of Schindlers List is one of true origins, with Oskar Schindler being a rich member of the Nazi Party at the time of the Second World War. He was a Jewish sympathizer and found he could save the lives of hundreds under the false pretense of bringing them to work for him. It was a real fight from one man who knew the wrong the German leader was doing to a race of people. 4. The story to the incredible film 12 Years a Slave may seem like a work of fiction, but the entire character base is real. Solomon Northup was a free man when he was tricked and kidnapped into slavery by vicious slave mongers. The path that Northup follows is one of demeaning hope, all the while wanting to just get back to his family. The movie not only brings to light that one person's story, but also the atrocious acts carried out against all people of color during that time frame before slavery and equal rights were not law. 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre appears to be a quite formulaic horror story. Teens break down at old creepy house and its inhabitants are crazed killers who pick them off one by one. The scary thing is it holds truth. The character of Leatherface, who is a crazed maniac wearing a mask made of skin, wielding a chainsaw, is based on serial killer Ed Gein. Gein was a serial killer of the 50s who would collect human remains from graves as well as kill his own victims. After his arrest, his home was raided and found to contain masks of real people's faces, clothes also made from skin, and household items made from human bones. 6. The main antagonist of the Silence of the Lambs movie is, without doubt, Hannibal Lecter, and it's Anthony Hopkins who plays the serial-killing professor to a level of perfection. The brilliant Dr. Lecter is called upon to help find another serial killer, Buffalo Bill, because his calling cards are similar to his. The actions of Buffalo Bill are actually linked to that of real-life killer Ted Bundy. Bundy was found guilty for over 30 homicides of young girls and women over a 4-year period. He would lure his victims back to an abode using charm and his handsome looks before torturing them and killing them for his own sadistic needs. He also seemed to revel in the attention afforded to him by the media and led the papers and police on a bit of a wild goose chase when he discovered he could. 7. Open Water is a movie based around a couple who find themselves at sea with nothing but their life jackets on after a boating incident. The stories of Tom and Eileen Lonergan, who set out to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef. They were left out at sea when the boat they were on left them behind. The two were left floating in open waters until the boat returned to no sign of them both. To this day, neither of their bodies have been found, and it is more likely the pair drowned after being attacked by some kind of predator. 8. Mickey Rourke plays the role of his character in The Wrestler to perfection, as he shows how ex-pros can struggle with life once their bodies can take no more time in the famed squared circle. The story is an amalgamation of several wrestlers, with Lex Luger being the inspiration as his body double, but none quite fit the role as Dave Boy Smith, aka the British Bulldog. British Bulldog was a huge star of 90s wrestling in the WWF. He held numerous titles during his time there. Once his star had finished burning, he would travel to various circuits and returned on and off again to the limelight, but struggled to regain his fame. He was found dead from a heart attack in 2002. With use of drugs and burden he put on his body to blame, a similar ending to the movie, depending on your thoughts. 9. The Conjuring. The Conjuring sends a shiver up most people's spines, a tale about the haunting of a small country home occupied by a family. The movie shows how famous paranormal investigators, the Warrens, came to try and find out the happenings at the Perron family home. The house had a real-life tragic history: 2 hanging suicides, 4 men freezing to death, and the murder and sexual assault of an 11-year-old girl, Prudence Arnold. Local law does not require house history to be made public, so the Perrons were not aware of any of these incidents when they moved in. They experienced all the events seen in the movie for real.
Thanks for watching another amazing video, folks. Subscribe for more from Elite Facts.